Well, you're a brand new rocket guy. You got any questions about driving a rocket car? That's what I want to know.
Well, I actually do. I've got all kinds of questions.
I imagine you do.
Yeah. And this March meet, I had the privilege to meet John Paxton, and John is a good friend of yours, I understand.
I just got off the phone with John.
And it's his birthday today.
His birthday yesterday.
Yesterday.
It's a belated birthday wish to
Well,
John.
that's a good thing because today is April 15th, and I was thinking when I heard it was his birthday, I go, God, the guy's birthday's on tax day.
No, he missed it by one day.
Wonderful. Anyways, so as I was talking to John, he had mentioned that there was all kinds of shenanigans that went on at the, at drag meets, and he mentioned a particular thing about you and Fredericks, how you kind of would sneak around and trick each other.
Oh, Frederick, that's the owner of the Courage of Australia, the car that John drove. Yeah, he would sneak around, take about 3 or 4 ounces of this hydrogen peroxide. If you pour it on anything organic, it starts a reaction. And he'd sneak around behind us and pour it on the grass or pour it on the rocks, and it starts steaming. And near our car, and we would think it's leaking, and go crazy. Many times I've run for a bucket of water, and he would do a bear hug on me and tackle me to keep me from getting excited. But that's Frederick.
So did you ever play those tricks back?
Oh yeah. We played them back and forth all the time. But the bad thing about that is we always took it serious, because if we didn't take it serious and you actually did have a leak, you were in trouble.
Well,
Absolutely.
Speaking of leaks, I do have a little story about that. We were at Pomona, and we were working on getting a sponsorship for Mattel toys. So representatives and the vice president of Mattel Toy came out to watch us run the pollution factory. Well, one of the things we were really concerned about was any fuel. At the time, we're one of the very first teams that actually had a semi to haul their vehicle around. We were way ahead of our time. But one of the things we were concerned about, if there's any fuel left in that tank or in the system, then it would drop onto the wooden floor of the semi and start the darn thing on fire. So we would always drain that tank. And so here the guys went and drained the tank out of the pollution factory rocket car, and I'm sitting there talking with the representatives of Mattel Toys. That stuff had streamed down where there's some cracks in the asphalt, and it's got like a little creek right where he was standing. And lo and behold, he had these loafers on. And all of a sudden I saw his loafers start smoking. And I says, "Kick your shoe off." And he says, "What?" I says, "Kick your shoe off." We kicked the shoe, and boom, went on fire right on the toe and burnt the front of his toe of the shoe right off his toe. And when he left, he had his feet hanging out the front of the toe. I don't think we got a sponsorship that year, but later on through Kitty O'Neill, we did get a sponsorship through Mattel Toy, and they actually ended up making a Kitty O'Neill doll. But that just goes to show you got to watch that stuff.
You got to be careful.
Well, what we always did, the old-fashioned way, we still do it today. At least 4 5-gallon pails of water.
There's no such thing as too much water.
You cannot get too much water.
No.
Water is the only thing that would dilute 90% hydrogen peroxide down to where it'll bleach your hair.
Yeah, well, it totally neutralizes it. I mean, you can hit with a fire extinguisher and still go. Water, just throw water, it's out. It's just totally inert. And that's one of the really cool things about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at nitro. A match, all kinds of things.
Oh, it's gone.
That can detonate. You can actually detonate that. Hydrogen peroxide is so much safer than nitromethane ester.
Oh, yeah, long
in
as
many respects.
Like you said, as long as there's plenty of water. And we always have, and today we still have 4 buckets of water sitting around. And if anything happens, dash it with water.